Welcome everyone. Today's presentation is a step-by-step guide on how to properly and legally buy land in Abuja. We will go through all the critical stages from identifying genuine land to conducting searches at AGIS to understanding land titles and getting building approvals. This guide is based strictly on official information from the Abuja Geographic Information Systems AGIS, the Federal Capital Development Authority FCDA, and the Department of Development Control. If you are a first-time buyer, investor, real estate consultant, or simply curious about acquiring property in Abuja, this session is structured to give you everything you need to proceed with clarity and confidence. Let's now move over to the slides for more interactive session. Okay, firstly, we have to address this question before you that is on the screen. Why buy land in Abuja? Abuja remains one of the most attractive locations to buy land in Nigeria. As the administrative capital of the country, it has consistent infrastructure growth, high demand for housing, and political stability. Areas such as Guzape, Gwarimpa, Katampe, and Lugbe continues to experience a spike in development. Because of government policies and zoning regulations, land appreciates significantly over time, especially if due diligence is observed, which I will advise anybody who intends to own a land to conduct a due diligence to ensure that you have good title over the land you intend to purchase. Okay, let's now take a look at the key agencies involved in the entire process. Understanding the institutions involved in land management is very essential. AGIS is the central database for all land-related data and title verification in Abuja. On the other hand, the FCDA oversees the general planning and layout design of the Federal Capital Territory, and the Development Control is responsible for building approvals and ensuring land is used according to planning standards. These three agencies form the backbone of land administration in Abuja. Okay, we'll now move over to the types of land available, that you can be able to purchase in the FCT. There are different categories of land. Firstly, you have government allocated plots, which are more secured. Then these are issued directly by the FCTA with R of O or C of O. You also have private land which can be acquired from individuals who have titles, while customary land are often found in area councils like Kuje, Buare, and Gwagwalada. These are less secured unless properly regularized. So it's very important that once you purchase a property within the area council, you have to ensure it's regularized. Always insist on formal titles, preferably C of O, or at the very least an R of O with evidence of ground rent payment. If not, the burden will be transferred to you. Okay, we'll now take a look at the steps that you have to take in order for you to be able to obtain or purchase a good land in Abuja. Firstly, you have to identify and inspect the land you intend to purchase. The process begins with identifying the land and conducting a physical inspection. Never rely solely on online or agent pictures, which they are good. This gives you an idea of what you're going to, but you don't have to rely on it. You have to use a registered surveyor to walk the boundaries, check the coordinates to ensure that what you are buying is exactly what has been shown to you on the internet. So you have to observe whether the land is encumbered, occupied, or part of another estate. So physical inspection helps prevent fraud, double allocation, and illegal encroachment. So it's very important that you put the boots on ground, know exactly what you are buying. After you have seen what you intend to buy, the land you intend to buy, that it tallies with what you have seen online, then the next step will be conduct a search at AGIS. Once you have actually identified the land, you have to now proceed to AGIS to verify its legal status. A search helps confirm the ownership, any mortgage or encumbrance on the property, and whether it aligns with the Abuja master plan. You will need the plot and file number to conduct this search. If the land is genuine or unencumbered, the search results will reflect that it is clean. So you cannot do without this. If not, you are running, taking a lot of risk. After you have conducted a search, you can still proceed to request for the certified true copies. Requesting a certified true copy of the title from AGIS provides an official confirmation of what is on file. This is especially important when dealing with resale or secondary market land. The CTC proves that the documents presented by the seller are exactly what is held by the government and prevent forgery or fraudulent documentation. So once you obtain the certified true copy and then you view it side by side with what the seller has given to you, you will now have a rest of mind, knowing exactly that what you have is exactly what is with the AGIS. Then after that, you will now proceed to legal documentation and sales agreement, because you are sure of what you are buying. So after verifying the title, which is very critical, you cannot even proceed to the next stage without this. Then the next step is to prepare a formal land sale agreement. This should be done by a lawyer experienced in property transactions. The agreement must contain names, RC number if it's a company that's a corporate body, detailed plot description, amounts paid, the mode of payment, and a clause that protects the buyer. It's very important that you include an indemnity clause that binds the seller to take responsibility in case of future dispute. But it's very important for you to do your due diligence so that you can forestall any future dispute. Then after that, it will now be payment of consideration and taxes. Once the sale agreement is signed, you now proceed to pay the agreed purchase price. In Abuja, the stamp duty must be paid, and it's usually 0.75% of the consideration. That's the amount that you have paid for the property, for the land. The seller is making capital gains, then capital gain tax will apply. Always collect a received and acknowledgement letter from the seller. Ensure all payments are traceable, preferably via bank transfer, so that you can be able to establish that there has been a consideration flowing from you to the seller at any point, in case if an issue comes up in future. Then the next is title regularization if not yet registered. If the land is not yet registered in your name, you must regularize the title. This involves obtaining a consent to assign from the FCT minister and then submitting your documents to AGIS. You may require to pay statutory fees, including ground rent, registration fees, and consent fee. This is critical to ensure your name enters the land registry, so that anytime you wish to resell, it's easy for the buyer to establish the fact that you are indeed the owner of the property. Then the next step is development control approval. Before starting construction on your newly acquired land, you have done all the necessary things, the land is yours. You must get a building approval for development controls. It's very important. This requires submission of your building plan, site analysis, title, documents, and in some cases, environmental impact assessment. Without approval, your building may be marked for demolition even if you legally own the land. So you see the intricacies here. It's your land, but you must to ensure that you are building according to the master plan of Abuja. So the development control will guide you, let you know exactly what is expected, what kind of building that you are supposed to put up on such a property, on such land. So it's very important that you cover that angle. So let's now take a look at the estimated cost summary. The total cost of buying land in Abuja goes beyond the purchase price. Very important, you have the money to pay for the land. You also have to earmark some additional funds in order for you to complete the transaction. From AGIS search to building approval, buyers, you must budget between the sum of 750,000 to 3.5 million, depending on the value and location of the land. Is very important. Higher-end districts like Guzape and Maitama will naturally have higher associated fees, so it's very important you plan ahead to avoid surprises. Not when you have gone halfway, then you start having financial challenges. It's very important you plan to the very end. Okay, now take a look at some common pitfalls and what you are expected to do in order to avoid falling into the pit. A lot of people make the mistake of buying land using a power of attorney. While this may give you possession, it does not confer ownership, and ownership is what you intend to achieve. And if you don't get ownership, so you have wasted your time and your resources. Until you regularize the title and register it in your name, you remain exposed. You can lose the land at any given time. Also, avoid commencing any building project without proper development control approval. Is very important, no matter how small. Very important, you have to get the development control approval, so that tomorrow you won't see bulldozers coming to demolish your property. And it's very important that you know that the government monitors all construction activities, and penalties for non-compliance are severe. Just like I mentioned, you have spent money doing all this and you have gone ahead to build without proper approval from the development control. Tomorrow you might unfortunately lose all your effort, all your sweat will come to nothing. So it's very important that you do the needful in order to have peace of mind. Okay, let's now take a look at some best practices that you have to put in play. You have to, a registered surveyor will have to help with the physical inspection and coordinate, so that you don't encroach into other people's land in the process of building yours. A property lawyer ensures your documents are in order and are protected legally, so that if there are any issues, you can be able to go to court and secure your rights. And it's very important you only use agents recognized by the FCTA, so that you won't run into fraudsters who are just out to take your money and leave you high and dry. Always collect and preserve evidence of every payment and interaction, so that you can call the attention of law enforcement officers or the court when the transaction goes south. In summary, buying land in Abuja involves several key steps, starting with physical inspecting in the land, verifying the title at AGIS, and then drafting a proper legal agreement. And then the next is making payments. After you have made payments, you have gotten the land. The next is to regularize the title, and before you proceed with your building, you have to obtain a building approval, so that there won't be any issues later in future. Each stage is critical and must not be skipped. Any stage that you skip comes with its own attendant issue and problem. So make sure you don't skip any of these stages, so that you have peace of mind and sleep with your two eyes closed. This is the only way to ensure your investment is secure, your property is legal, and avoid future disputes or government sanctions. And government sanction most of the time is to bring down the building, which is not ideal, and I don't wish it even for my enemy. And we have come to the end of this presentation. I will, as usual, open the floor for any questions or clarification, whether you are planning to buy land in the city center or in the area councils or in an estate. This is the time for me now to answer any question or give you any further advice that you need, so that you will not make any mistake in the process. Okay, for personalized consultation, further guidance and additional resources on a comprehensive guide to buying land in Abuja, you can visit our website to access detailed guides, case studies, and expert insights designed to keep you informed of the latest regulatory updates and best practices. You can partner with us to leverage our deep industry knowledge and take the next step towards a comprehensive guide that can help you in order to buy a good land in Abuja. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to download this presentation for your future reference, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel for more valuable content such as this one. Thank you.